What's up, everybody? This is Whiskey in the Six. I'm Rob. So you all know that I named Whiskey in the Six because I'm from Toronto, and the guy that made Toronto the famous nickname The Six, Drake, recently released a whiskey, and this literally just arrived. The way it worked at the LCBO is you had to pre-order it, and then they would call you and you go pick up your bottle. So I picked up my bottle today. I believe I will be the first to actually review this on YouTube. Okay, I don't think anybody else has done it just yet. Really nice looking bottle. It's an American whiskey, believe it or not, and the reason for that is Drake and I believe it's Brent, can't remember the last name just yet, but they collaborated to make an American whiskey this time, and the idea is that they're eventually going to make a Canadian whiskey in the future. This won't be the first, it's going to be the first of many, I believe. That's what I've read and what I've watched on various different interviews and stuff like that. This particular bourbon is called American whiskey, simply to appeal to a bigger group of people, okay? A lot of people have bias when they hear the word bourbon. A lot of people have bias when they hear the words Canadian whiskey or whatever. So I think Drake just wanted it to be appealing to many people by calling it American whiskey as opposed to bourbon. Those of you who do drink bourbon know that it's a fantastic product, and it's not really something to shy away from for most, but he probably has a point because they have people that survey different areas, different countries to see what they like and dislike, and I mean, they have the money to do that sort of thing, so they know better, right? Anyway, this is 2, 3, and 4-year-old bourbon, so it's a blend of those ages, so it's not very old. So I figured I'd do a first impressions type review because I don't have to let it sit very long in the glass. Alright, so put myself a little bit here. Really nice bottle. Okay, it's called Virginia Black, but it's not actually distilled in Virginia. I believe someone said Indianapolis. I've been trying to look for research on it. Haven't been able to find a ton just because it's a very new product. But like I said, it's 2, 3, and 4 years old. It's a blend of those 3 ages, and it's not, it says it right on the bottle actually, not from Virginia, okay? The way a bourbon gets categorized as a bourbon is it has to have 51% of the whiskey being corn whiskey, and it doesn't have to be from Kentucky. It can be anywhere in the United States. So I believe, like I said, this is from Indianapolis. Correct me if I'm wrong, please put in the comments below and I will make the correction in my next review. But yeah, I definitely thought it would be fitting to review Drake's whiskey. His nickname The Six has been pretty much the inspiration for my name of my YouTube channel. So if he's watching, or if he comes across this video when he's looking up his own Virginia Black reviews, thank you. Alright, on the nose. Very sweet on the nose. Okay, in order for bourbon to be considered bourbon, it's not supposed to have added color. This is a very dark whiskey, and the reason and the way that's achieved is basically by charring the inside of the barrels. It's virgin oak barrels that are charred to the highest degree in order to get that dark caramel look to the whiskey, okay? And it also, the char from the barrel purifies the whiskey as well. So a lot of reasons for doing it. Bourbon doesn't have to be very old because it's often aged in warm climates, but now that it can be aged in northern United States, it won't necessarily get the same aging effect that the southern states will have, okay? So we'll find out by the taste, but by the smell so far, It definitely smells like a bourbon, and it smells very, very nice, very pleasant. This is bottled at 40%. Okay, so not overly strong. A lot of bourbons tend to be 45% and upwards. This one's 40. Again, I think that's the idea, is to appeal to a wider market. Okay, I think the goal is also to appeal to the female market. All right, and that's the reason why this, just based on an interview I watched of Drake's co-owner of the bottle, Brent. I can't remember his last name. Saying he made it, the design is like a perfume bottle, because he believes that when the ladies are attracted to something, the men will follow. Okay, so I think it's a nice bottle. It smells great. Bottled at 40%. I would have liked it to be a little bit higher, but let's see what it tastes like. That's really good. It's super smooth. You get a ton of caramel, get a lot of smokiness. There's almost zero burn to it whatsoever. That's actually really good stuff. I'm gonna give it another shot. Okay, peaches and cream. Like a cooked down like peach cobbler, that's what I'm getting. There's definitely that smoke. You can tell that the barrels are nice and charred. That's actually really good stuff. There's a zero alcohol burn, which is very surprising for such a young whiskey. Man, that's pretty good. I'm gonna smell it and taste it again. I want to give you guys the most honest mark I can possibly come up with. See, that peach is coming out on the nose now. Like a jammy, fruity type smell. Sweet, sweet corn. Like caramel corn, actually. Okay, one more time on the palate. Swishing it around in your mouth is not painful at all. There's like no alcohol burn. It is 40%, so you don't expect a lot of alcohol burn, but for a younger whiskey, you tend to find some of the bottles that are out there, you will get that alcohol burn, even if it's a younger, even if it's bottled at 40%, but that's not happening at all here. It's really, really smooth stuff. This bottle goes for $40 at the LCBO. I don't know if it's widely available in the LCBO just yet. I think it was just the pre-orders for now, and then they're gonna put it out a little bit later in the fall, but I'm not 100% sure on that. It might actually come out soon. But it's not on the shelves just yet. They're just sending out the bottles of the pre-orders. Okay, so really, really good stuff. I'm gonna have to give that an A-, borderline A. It's really, really good. Okay, for 40 bucks, you can't go wrong. If I'm spending $40 on a whiskey, I would definitely choose something like this over a Crown Royal, or you know, a lot of the whiskeys in its class. Okay, so excellent stuff. Great ambassador for the Toronto Raptors. We the North puts out an awesome product, but pretty much literally everything he touches turns to gold, because it doesn't seem like he's doing anything that isn't great. All right, so that's a solid. I'm gonna go the A. All right, because it's so young and it actually has impressed me quite a bit. Okay, so it's an A. If you like this video, please subscribe. If you're new to my channel, please comment below. Any suggestions, any comments, any questions, I'd be happy to help. You can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Whisky in the Six on Instagram. On Twitter, I'm at Whisky_in_the_6. And on Facebook, I'm under either Rob Reviews or Whisky in the Six. If you just type that in the search bar, you can probably find me. All right? Thank you very much, guys. Cheers.